Ethan and Kate, I'm going to make barbecue pork. Sorry, they do. Okay, today Ethan and Kate, I'm going to do some barbecue duck. We'll employ some techniques used in making Peking duck, but this is not Peking duck. I think I would like just to reserve Peking duck for the experts, and we just eat that out when we go to the Chinese restaurants where they really do it perfectly. But for this particular barbecue duck, I'm using a 5-pound duck. It's a whole duck, and what we're going to do is I'm just going to stuff it, drain it, clean it up, stuff the duck with orange, garlic, ginger, some star anise if I have some. I don't know if I have, I'll have to check the pantry, and some cinnamon. If I don't have cinnamon sticks, I'll just sprinkle some cinnamon on it. And then, but before doing that, we're just going to employ some kind of technique that they use with Peking duck, which will be just to poach the duck for a few minutes, maybe 1 to 2 minutes, just to get rid of the exterior fat of the skin, and then we're going to prepare it that way. I'm actually going to barbecue this duck tomorrow, so this is a day before I'm going to work on it, but I'm just doing it a day in advance to prepare it because I'd like to have the duck skin dried. The way to get really nice crispy skin is to situate that the duck skin is dry and it's been properly seasoned with salt. Okay, so let's get this up and ready. I'm going to prepare it, and then we're going to barbecue this duck tomorrow. But for today, we're just going to do the I'm going to do the preparation. Okay, so Chinese inspired barbecue duck. So we're going to poach this duck in boiling water for 1 minute. Be careful, it's hot. Try not to get the boiling water onto the insides of the duck. You could actually just let it stand on its legs and baste it with the boiling water. But be careful because it's really hot. Baste the duck for a full minute. I'll increase the heat. The purpose of the basting with hot water is so that it helps to dry the skin, gets rid of the exterior fat of the duck skin. This is a technique that they use for Peking duck that I've seen. Although this is not Peking duck, this is a barbecue duck. Get rid of as much moisture as you can. Okay. So once that's dry, the skin is dry, the insides are dry, we're going to stuff the duck with again the ginger. This is 1 whole orange, 4 cloves of large garlic, and a bundle here of spring onion. This is ginger, roughly this much. I don't know how much it weighs, but just make an estimate. Okay. And you also need either a toothpick or a skewer like this, so you could seal up the duck, just to keep all of the aroma, this flavors that gets extracted from the ginger and all of these aromatics here. So I think that's good. So let's put in some orange. The orange I like to squeeze it a little bit just to get some of the juice out. Put in your ginger. The orange. Try to stuff it in there so that the duck expands. Put in your garlic and your onion. next step will be to seal up the duck with a bamboo skewer or a metal skewer if you have any of those. If you don't have, you could just use toothpick to just like sew it all up, one toothpick at a time, until you seal the opening here. Cut off the wing tip. There you go. And dry it further. And then you could just let it refrigerate for maybe 2 to 3 hours so that the skin dries up. But in this case, I'm doing it overnight since I'm going to roast it tomorrow. Barbecue the duck. Okay, so here's our duck that we left in the fridge overnight to dry up the skin. The skin is turning out to be darker, which means to say that it's already drying up. I don't see any moisture, so a good sign to tell if the skin has dried up is when the skin begins to darken up. Okay, so I'm just gonna drip of coffee. So while I'm going to prepare this, we're also going to make the glaze that we're going to use to glaze the duck while it's roasting. But before I place this in the oven, I'm going to drizzle some oil on top of the duck skin, just a little bit, because we're going to sprinkle the duck with some sea salt or rock salt, or sea salt, rough salt. The salt actually will help pull out moisture out of the skin. It will make it a much more crispier skin or crispier texture. Okay, and I'm also going to make glaze, which will be made out of, hold on. Honey, red rice wine vinegar, char siu, Chinese barbecue sauce. You can buy this at the market. They're widely available. And Chinese cooking wine, Shaoxing cooking wine. I don't know what's the alternative or substitute for this if you don't have it available, but I'm guessing that you could either use some kind of rice wine. Probably sake might work. So yeah, I think sake will work because the Chinese Shaoxing cooking wine is rice wine. So it will be a good experiment if ever you decide to, if you don't have the Shaoxing cooking wine. So this will be our glaze. I'm going to make that, I'm going to prepare that, and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to make the glaze now. You could use this on a saucepan, but I don't have a saucepan, so you need to start off with around 2 tablespoons of honey. So let me just drizzle that in here, 2 tablespoons of honey. I think that's okay. A little bit more. 2 tablespoons of char siu sauce or Chinese barbecue sauce. This will make the sauce really sticky and glaze it up. So let's put 2 tablespoons of that. 2 tablespoons of the Chinese cooking wine or Shaoxing cooking wine. Shaoxing is a rice wine, so let's put 2 tablespoons. 1, 2. Okay. some rice vinegar, rice wine vinegar. I don't have the rice wine, but this is rice vinegar. You'll have to put in 1/4 cup. So I'm just estimating here. So this is going to be our glaze. I'm going now to turn on the stove. We're going to warm that up and let it simmer for 3 to 4 minutes. Bring it to a boil and let it simmer for 3 to 4 minutes. So it's come to a boil. I'm just going to pour down the heat and just allow it to simmer for 3 to 4 minutes. It's going to thicken up and reduce a little bit, but mostly just to thicken up because of the honey and the char-siu barbecue sauce, the rice wine, rice vinegar, all of them have sugars. And once those warm up, it thickens up the sauce or glaze. It actually smells very nice. So you know that you've made a nice glaze if it smells sweet and fragrant. So I'm just going to move this around, let it simmer for 3 to 4 minutes, and then we're going to let it cool down. And we're going to use that to glaze the duck. So you'll notice that the glaze is thickening up. You have this really bright reddish caramel color. So it's been simmering for 3 to 4 minutes, and I think that's good enough. I'm going to turn down the stove. I'm just going to let this cool down. Okay, and meanwhile, I'm going to prepare the duck. So here's our duck. I'm going to drizzle it with around 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to rub that all over the skin because we're going to put in some, not put in, but we're going to drizzle it with salt, some salt, a generous, well, not a lot, just enough to, so the oven's ready at 350. Just going to put that in there. We're going to roast it for 1 hour, but in between, at 30 minutes, we're going to start to glaze the duck, and we're going to glaze it every 10 minutes in the last 30 minutes of the cooking time. So it's been roasting for 30 minutes. That's a nice, beautiful color. We're now going to glaze the duck. I'm going to pull that out real quick. Wow, that's really nice. If you look at it, so here's the glaze. I put it in a mug, and we're just going to glaze it. So there you go. We're going to glaze it every 10 minutes. In the last 30 minutes, it's been roasting for 30 minutes. So we'll just glaze that every 10 minutes. Okay? So every 10 minutes you have to glaze your duck. This is the second glaze that I'm doing. You're going to get this nice caramelization of the skin. Try to get into the nooks and crannies of the duck. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you got that nice roast. It's already golden. You know it's pretty much done if you get all that browning right there. I think I'm just going to brown it a little, just a bit more, maybe 5 minutes. I'll put a final baste on it, and then it'll be done. Then we're going to cool it down and then slice it and put it over some Chinese pancakes or some soft warm bao. Okay? Okay, so now we've pulled out the duck from the oven and it's cooled down a little bit. We're going to carve it, and we start off with carving off the leg. See the beautiful golden color? This is your BBQ duck. Okay, so I've sliced down the barbecue duck. We're going to prepare it now for eating. But for now, I have both, so I'm lucky. If you don't have any of the pancake or the bun, you could actually use some kind of sweet bread, which will be like your King's Hawaiian. I think that will work well. Something that's soft and fragrant. So to start this off with, I'm going to use a small piece of a small bun. We have our garnishings will be scallions, slices of cucumber, and hoisin sauce. So first, I'm going to put some hoisin sauce, spread hoisin sauce on the bun here, just a little bit, and I'll get a piece of the duck. Put it in there, get some scallions, and a small slice of cucumber. So, hope you could see it. And then let's give it a try. Oh, that's good. The skin's not crunchy anymore. I think it's because of the cooking technique, which is just to barbecue it. It's not like Peking duck where you get a crunchy skin. I was expecting to get crunchy skin, but not for this one. I think it's the constant basting with the glaze that we use that has sugar, that has lemon, that has honey, barbecue sauce, and that makes it more thicker. But otherwise, it's very good. It's as good as the barbecue duck that I buy in a Chinese restaurant. It's a bit tedious to make, but not that tedious. It's just you just have to put in some time to do it. The ingredients are very easy, simple, and easy to procure or get in the Asian market. So give it a try. Try some of this Chinese style barbecue duck.